Hello, kings and queens of the internet. My name is No Socks. Welcome to my channel. This is a different type of video where I'm going to be doing some commentary while there's gameplay of mine in the background. I really liked this game that I played with Yojo, but we ended up, well, you'll see. I ended up with the recording and the editing phase afterwards, looking at it and then listening to it and realizing my microphone didn't pick up in the recording. So that's partially why we have this video the way we do, with me doing a commentary over it, but also because I want to try new things. Figure maybe this might be something that people enjoy more. So if you do, leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc. You know the deal. I'm not here to bore you with the same cliche stuff everyone says. What I am here to talk about is Marathon. It's finally out. It's been out for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks of the day, I believe. No, it was Thursday, so just shy of 2 weeks. Yep, 13 days. Lucky number 13. Why Marathon? Why not Apex? And why the pivot? For those of you who know me, which is very few, but all of my subscribers, thank you. For those of you who have seen some of my older content, for who've been around, who know me more so for who I am and less so for my content, which is most people I know, you'll know that I'm not playing Apex as much anymore and not competing in esports as much as I used to. I've been competing in esports since 2016, 10 years now. And I am finally taking a step away and focusing more on content and having a more fun time with gaming. I'm not doing it because I'm giving up on my dreams. I do actually have some things in mind and how this might go. But I realized I do need to take a year for myself or some time, maybe not a year, maybe a few months. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll be. But I need to step away from Apex. I need to step away from competitive games where all I do is get on, focus on improving myself, and then get off, have a job, have a few times with friends that I hang out with, and then that's it. That's my whole entire life cycle. It started to become numbing after a while. And I knew Marathon was coming out. I've had friends who were in the alpha tests about a year ago talking about the game. I ended up liking the idea, but I also had been beta testing and alpha testing for other games in the past. And I was tired of it. I was tired of knowing the little things before other people. I actually really liked the idea of just stepping into a game and not knowing anything about it, which is partially why Marathon intrigued me. Also, partially because it was run by Bungie, which I know they have a mediocre relationship with their clients, their customers, the gamers who play Destiny 2 and Halo. They've dropped the ball a few times, but I have faith in them. That might also be because the past three organizations that ran the games I competed in were in order EA, Riot Games, and Blizzard Entertainment with Activision. So that might be, I might be coming from the bad end of the street, walking to the better end, while other people are going the other way. But what's next, right? If I'm not going to be competing, what am I doing? Big thing is getting myself stable, focusing on self improvement in the small, uh, in the short term, not in the small, in the short term and in the long term. Figuring out what I want to do and how I'm able to do it. I've hit a point where my day jobs that I've picked up to fuel my career choice of trying to go pro in esports, that I'm able to build careers, and I don't dislike all of the career options I've been given. That being said, I don't feel fulfilled the same way. There's something about going to a job, a 9 to 5, every day that It's not even that it depresses me, it's that it haunts me. There's a song by the Struts that has always been one of my reminders of why I do what I do, called Could Have Been Me. Absolute banger song. I'll probably link in the description. If not, I'll pin it in the first comment. I don't know. But Could Have Been Me basically states it's someone reflecting back and saying, it could have been them, who this person was, who this awe-inspiring, dream-fulfilling, wonderful, perfect person in their eyes could have been themselves. That's something I relate to. So why marathon? Right? If I'm stepping away from my dream, why? I've got family members who went to school a lot. I didn't go to college, but they all went to college. They've all got degrees, and I was able to meet with some of the professors. Just kind of, everyone knew everybody, so I was there once in a while. Christmas parties, things like that. Right? There's a professor that really struck me because he said something to one of my family members, and then that family member told me, and I talked to them about it. Of step away from it when you're working on anything in life. You're going to keep thinking about it, especially if it's a passion, especially if it's something that you will always want to think about. Your brain naturally goes towards thinking about it over and over and over and over. We're creatures of habit. And they always said to step away, to take that break, because your conscious mind, your frontal core, prefrontal cortex, that's the one. Your prefrontal cortex is your active thinking, your conscious, very logical, forward thinking, what is happening in front of me, deciphering, figuring out the puzzle in front of you. That is often your passion. Sometimes you need to let your prefrontal cortex just take a break. So you put it to the back of your mind. You just do something else. I often find doing something physically active, whether that be just going out and running an errand, or taking a run, or lifting some weights, going to a gym, um, going and hanging out with friends, going and getting a meal, and distinctly talking about and thinking about something completely different, to the point where you can't think about your passion. Taking that break, that step, that and a break, not just stepping away, a full break. Think of the word break. Take a stick, pull down on two parts, that center snaps, it breaks. It's separated. There is a distinct separation between it now that wasn't there before. That sort of break. When you snap it, when you break it, you see the inside of it. And that inside can't be seen without a break. And that inside is seen by the back of your mind. It's in your subconscious, because if you're really passionate about it, even if you're not, if it's something you've just worked on a lot, you will ultimately, eventually, have a new perspective that plays into your mind after you set it away. It will go to the back of your mind and it will churn itself over. It will sit. It will absorb new things. Think about cooking a steak, right? You don't cook a steak hot off the grill and slap it on a plate and serve it. No, you let it rest for 5 minutes. You let it rest for a few minutes, however well you do it. I don't care. But by resting it, it absorbs new things. And I'm taking that philosophy into my dream. I've been at this for 9 years. Last 6 months, I haven't been competing as much due to personal reasons. But for 9 years, I've been competing. 9 years. It's a long time for someone who's only lived 25. I've been an adult for less time. I started when I was 16. If I took a year off, I would still have spent more time doing this than I have been an adult. And we're starting to hit numbers where, you know, that's not a small amount of time. So why do something else? Why marathon? Well, it's new. It's not something I saw. It's something that is breaking up the old idea. This is a break, a snap, a distinct change in my path. So when will I go back? I don't know. And I like that I don't know. I like that I don't know because I like solving new puzzles. And this is creating a puzzle for me. How's it going to work out? I don't know. That really is the puzzle right there, is figuring out how. But maybe it's not mine to figure out. Maybe it's life, right? I've spent all these last 9 years trying to figure out, how do I become the best competitive player in the world at whatever game I play? And I've spent 9 years trying to break those final few steps. Starting from the very, very bottom. I was awful when I started. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was so passionate. I knew I was going to get there. And I've done a very good job. I've hit the point now where I have similar levels of experience to my mentor when I first started. And he quit. He found a better passion. He's trilingual. He liked fishing. He'd got his degree and he thought, yeah, this is where my path changes. And in a way, I'm following in his footsteps, but at the same time, I'm not done yet. I will be back. How, when, where, don't know. But I will be back. I'll be back to competing because I'm too competitive of a person to not do it. And oh, what about the world of business or the world of politics or the world of content creation? Why can't you compete in that? It's not the same because for me, I need to be around people who are passionate at the highest levels, the upper echelons of a skill-based thing. And then, and only then, do I feel like I'm with my people, with my tribe, with the ones who understand me the most in a strange and fascinating way. And oftentimes I don't like those people, which is another thing. I'm very socially awkward. I have very, very bad social anxiety, and yet I want to connect and beat these people at their own game. Why? Because of my own ego. So why marathon? Why is this step away? Well, it doesn't, it feels more like a sidestep to me because marathon is very similar to Apex Legends, teams of three, hero based abilities that have interpersonal changes with gun archetypes, with character implants, with character cores, with items in the game, and on different maps. It feels very much like Apex, but with higher stakes, longer term progression. And yeah, you got some bigger egos on the scene and some people who are not as kind, not as understanding, or sometimes more kind and more understanding. It's individual. And I'm still new to this place. But to me, it feels fun. I have fun playing Marathon. Not only do I have fun, I've had more people reach out to me asking if they should get Marathon than any other game I've played. Than Overwatch, than Valorant, than League of Legends, than Apex, than anything. And I've had more people get the game, play with me, and have just as much fun. Of all different skill levels, of different regions. And we've had great games. Genuinely, some great, great games. I can't say that about Apex. I can't say that about Valorant. I can't say that about Overwatch. But what I can say is that it does scratch the itch more than the others in terms of a casual player base. But or in casual play, but the competitive side is just about to begin. Ranked releases this Saturday. This is a few days away. And they have a new system. It's a totally different type of ranked system, right? No one has ever put ranked into an extraction shooter, as far as I know. No one mainstream, at least. And they're doing it, and the way they do it makes sense. I like it. I do like it. And if they're adding ranked and so soon, right off I mean, we are going to be, I think, what, 17, 16 days since release, and they're adding ranked into an extraction shooter? A game where it's all about upgrading loot over the course of a season? I think that says something. I think that says something that they are interested in the idea of making a new esport. Maybe I'm wrong, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. But there is something telling me that this is the right place for me right now. Maybe I'll go back to Apex and compete. Maybe I'll go back to Overwatch and compete. God, I hope not. I can't stand Overwatch. A lot of people say they have fun. I believe them. I think it's a fun game, but it's not the same for me. It's not what it was. And this is nice. This place, these games, they're fun. So yeah, there's gonna be more marathon content, but I'll probably have some Apex content. I like playing with some of my old Apex friends. They don't play marathon. That's fine. Ultimately, I'm gonna make what I want to make, and I kind of like doing this. This is my first, not my first recording. I had two other recordings, so with this shit. But yeah, I like this style. I like talking to you guys and gals, kings and queens of the internet, right? I'm nothing more than a fool to entertain, right? And maybe it's my way of trying to give back to the world when it's given me so much. Who knows? And who knows where it'll go? But yeah, thanks for dropping by, everybody. Till next time, probably next week. Let's say next week. This video will probably be out today. Let's say next week. Maybe the week after. Maybe not. I don't know. This style of video next week. See you back here. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about. I'll talk about anything at this point. Not anything. Well, let me clarify. This is the internet after all. Not anything, but most things. Ask questions if you have any. If you don't, so be it. I'll keep yapping away anyway until something sticks. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day, good night, whenever you're listening to this. Hope it's a good time. See you around.